The Avengers are some of my favorite fictional characters of all time. In this video, I will be building each of the Avengers' most iconic scenes in LEGO. First up on the list is Captain America. Captain America lifting Mjolnir in Endgame is definitely one of his most iconic scenes. So, let's get to building. This build will be pretty simple because I want the main focus to be on the minifigure. And speaking of minifigures, this is the Captain America that I'll be using in the build. So I placed him in the build and I think it turned out really well. I think this build does a really good job of captivating that iconic scene from Endgame. I know it's simple, but it gets the job done. Now, on to the next build. While we're on the topic of Endgame, I wanted to include Iron Man's most iconic scene. I believe Tony's sacrifice in Endgame is one of his most iconic scenes. Once again, this build is somewhat simple because it's more of a highlight of the minifigure. This is the Iron Man minifigure that I'll be using in the build. And here's the final product. You can see Tony holding up his gauntlet, about to snap and sacrifice himself to save the universe. Now, onto the next build. Now for Bruce Banner or the Hulk, I think his most iconic scene is from the first Avengers movie, when he turns into the Hulk and says, "I'm always angry." For this build, I just kind of created a destroyed looking street. And here's the Bruce Banner minifigure I'll be using since I don't have a big fig Hulk. So I placed him in the build and here is the final product. You can see him walking, about to turn into the Hulk and punch the big Leviathan. Now, on to the next build. I think Black Widow's sacrifice in Endgame has to be her most iconic scene. For the build, I created that rocky sort of platform from Vormir. Here's the Black Widow minifigure I'm using. I couldn't find the figure that had the long hair, so we're just gonna have to stick with this one. Now here's Black Widow sacrificing herself from Avengers Endgame. On to the next build. One of the coolest Hawkeye scenes is from the first Avengers movie. It's when he's jumping off that building and shooting his grapple arrow. The build itself is just the top of a building. Here's the custom-made Hawkeye figure I'll be using. And here he is jumping from that building, about to shoot his grapple arrow. Now the final character is of course Thor. Thor has so many iconic scenes, but I wanted to create the one from Ragnarok when he got his powers. For this build, I created a small Bifrost bridge. And the main focus of this build will be Thor jumping through the air. So I placed Thor in the build and it was complete. I think this build captivates the scene well and it gets the job done. Anyways, that's going to do it for this video. Comment down below what you think of these builds. I hope you enjoyed, and as always, make sure to like and subscribe for more. Peace out.